Hey y'all, it's Crystal. Today I'm actually going to talk to you a little bit about seeds and what I plan to start in the spring garden. And the reason I'm doing this today is because it is raining outside. Like when I say raining, pouring rain right now. And yucky and gray and cold. It's probably only like 35 degrees outside. First of all, I want to show you my very favorite catalog. This is called the Whole Seed Catalog. It's from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. They have the most amazing selection of crazy, different, beautiful things, and this catalog is just amazing. It's full of awesome pictures, gives you great descriptions of everything, shows you a lot of the detail of the plants and the fruits and things like that. So it's really great. I really enjoyed it this year. I literally went through and circled everything I might want to plant. I am gonna plant. Yeah, it's been really fun. So I gotta show you guys these because these are on my must plant list this year. Do you see these grape tomatoes? They're amazing. They're called Brad's Atomic Grape Tomatoes. And I'm so excited about them. I have a lot of seeds. A lot of seeds. But I don't have all that they have, obviously. If they have a huge book like that, you're not gonna, I mean, you can have all of them, I guess, but I don't. So, anyways, let's get started. The first thing I want to talk about is greens, and I have a stack of my greens. Greens are really good to grow in the spring and in the fall. So let's talk greens. Greens are amazing. My favorite is kale, and this is my favorite, red Russian kale. It's really pretty. It has really green leaves and purple stems and veins in it. Very pretty in the garden. I'm looking at my list of everything I'm going to plant in order this year. I also have red Ursa kale, it's called. Just a seed pack from my neighbor actually gave me this. So I'll plant what I have left of these seeds. I planted them in the fall. Hi, Evelyn.
Hi, Mom.
So I planted red Ursa kale in the fall, and anybody that lives around here knows that we had an early frost, and I didn't get my plants covered in time, and they were too small to withstand. What are you doing? Kale is actually better after it's had a frost. It turns really sweet and tender, and it's really delicious, but it has to be big enough to withstand the frost too. So, and mine was not, so it all died. Anyway. I also usually only do one type of lettuce mix, and it's this one. It's called the Rocky Top lettuce mix. It's really beautiful. It has lots of reds and greens and purples, and it's just really tender, really flavorful. I don't do head lettuce in the spring because it gets too hot too early here usually, and everything just bolts. I usually wait till fall if I want to do head lettuce, and I might actually try that this year. I'm gonna order the Rocky Top lettuce. Might be the only lettuce I am doing that I'm ordering right now, but I've been looking at other ones. This is one that's really good too. It's called Red Velvet. The next thing is Swiss chard. I love Swiss chard. Nobody else in my family loves Swiss chard. In fact, I'm pretty much the only one who eats greens unless it's in a soup. Chad will eat it, but otherwise, that's pretty much it. But I love the Swiss chard. I love the color that it brings to my garden. And actually, most of the time when I plant Swiss chard in the spring, it will last until at least fall, if not into winter. So Swiss chard planted will last a really long time, and it doesn't ever get real, some lettuces and greens get bitter when it gets hot. I've never had Swiss chard get bitter. Traditional spinach. This is Bloomsdale Long Standing. And then arugula. Arugula is a spicy lettuce. I've not had much luck growing arugula in the past, so I'm hoping this year if I pay a little extra attention to it, I will. Okay, next in the spring, beets. I love beets. Miss Stella over here actually loves raw beets, but I like them roasted. They're my favorite, roasted. This year I'm gonna do golden beets.
Golden.
And bull's blood beets.
I still love beets.
and these are both really good. The golden beets, if you don't like beets, I suggest still trying the golden beets. Beets are really good for you, by the way. Radishes, I have this mix left over from last year. It was really good. It had a really good range of them. Everything from radish, French breakfast, I think they're called, to like the big daikon radishes. They're really great. And it's kind of fun to see what you're going to get when they come up. Some people prefer to know the types of radishes they have, but for me, I just love radishes. They're good all different kinds of ways, aren't they, girls?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
And then these are just your traditional royal red radishes. They're called Holmes Royal Red, and they're good too. These are kind of similar to what you would get at the grocery store, so if you're more of a traditionalist and you like that, then that might be the way to go for you. I have a couple of types of carrots that I am definitely growing this year, and I want to find one in particular. Okay.
Okay. Mommy's crazy. And then I will
What was
say
I looking for? Carrots.
carrots.
Where did the Kyoto red ones go?
Mommy's
Excuse me.
crazy.
This is my favorite carrot. I planted the Kyoto red carrot in the spring last year and also in the fall, and it did so well. I got a good harvest out of both of them for the amount that I planted. So I highly recommend the Kyoto red, and I will be planting lots of those this year. Another one that is really easy to grow is the Danvers Half Long, which is, again, more of your traditional carrot. Orange, like you get at a grocery store, if that's what you like, go with that one. It's easy to grow. The other one is Cosmic Purple carrots, and they, as you can see, they have orange in the middle, and then the outside is a really dark purple, and they are so good. They're so sweet, and the skin on them, the skin on all of these carrots are very thin. You don't even have to peel them, and they'll taste just fine. They won't be tough or have a funny flavor or anything like that. So those are the three that we're definitely growing. Let's do cabbage next because I don't want to forget. This, I'm definitely growing the Charleston Wakefield cabbage, which is just your traditional green cabbage. I like to have some standby traditionals and some that are a little bit different. And then the other one I'm gonna grow, the Valacio di Verona. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. The heirlooms, especially in this book. But look at how pretty this is. This one I'm definitely going to try out this year. It's supposed to be pretty hardy for our area and work out pretty well. Hopefully I'll get a good turnout from it. And we're also going to do kohlrabi. Kohlrabi is kind of a funny, I don't even know how to explain it. Kind of like a parsnip, but it's big and round. I will substitute it for potatoes. I'll trick my family into eating it by roasting it with potatoes because it's good for you and it's a good different flavor. This is the white Vienna. It's pretty standard when people grow kohlrabi. This is usually what they grow. I've also grown purple kohlrabi in the past. It's a little bit smaller than the white one, but still really good, and it's colorful, so of course I love it even more than the white one. Now we're moving to broccoli. Last year I had really good luck with the Walton broccoli. It turned out really good for me. I only grew a few plants, so I didn't have a ton of it, but it did end up really nice. So I'll grow that again this year for sure. I'm hoping to get some covers on it so that I don't lose a bunch of it to moths and such. And then I'm also going to try, and you actually have to start this in the fall. So in the fall, you'll see me, I'm going to try it in the spring. I'm going to plant it early out in my garden in the spring so it might get the cold that it needs. And then in the fall, I'll try it again and see which way is better. I tried it this year, and again, that hard frost, they were too little, and they couldn't survive that. So I lost all the broccoli plants that I planted, which is a bummer, but you know, you win some and you lose some. That's the way gardening is. I also will be planting celery in the spring. Lots of onions. I did a few onions last year in my raised bed that I had, and they did so well. I've got to try them again because we eat a lot of onions in our house. So it's really important that we have them and they're easy to obtain and affordable. And this is one way to do it, is to grow your own. So if you're struggling with how do I afford whole foods, I highly recommend you try at least a small garden. Fennel. Fennel is an herb. I really don't know how to use it yet. I need to do a little bit of research. I've not grown it myself. My mom grew it a few times and I haven't heard much from her either about what it's like. So I'm looking forward to experimenting with that one. Leeks are another one. They are similar to onions. I've never had one, to be honest. So I'm going to try growing them. If I like them, then next year maybe I'll grow a few more. I was going to plant cilantro, and it's starting to come up voluntarily in my herb bed that's directly outside of this window. So I might see how many come up, and then if I need some more, I can plant it because it comes up really quickly, and you cut it before it flowers or anything. So it doesn't take very long to get to the point where you can eat from it. So it's easy to grow as long as it's cool out. Once it gets hot, it bolts really quickly, and then you have to wait until fall to plant it again. We love sugar snap peas. I will be planting regular sugar snap peas, just these green ones, again this year. I did them last year and had really great success with them. And then I also plant sugar magnolia peas. So here's a picture of the sugar magnolia tendril peas. You can see that they have purple flowers, purple buds, or purple pods, and then they have these really neat tendrils that grow all over them. And the tendrils are actually really good to put in salads and things like that. So basically almost the entire plant is edible with these, which is really cool. So that's most of what I'm planting in the spring. I obviously have lots of things to plant for summer, and I'll have to get started on tomatoes and peppers and things like that, but I usually wait till early March to do that because otherwise they get so big by the time I'm ready to transplant them out that I've had to pot them up, or they're just not real healthy plants. So I'll wait until the 1st of March to do that. So I have about a month before I have to do any of that. I've got another cool weather that I wanted to show you guys too, called Purple Lady Bok Choy. Bok choy is so cool. This is called Purple Lady Bok Choy. I love the dark purple leaves with like the neon green stems. They're so pretty. So, funny story about bok choy. I had never had bok choy before, and I have a subscriptions for Misfits so that during the winter when I can't grow my own vegetables, I can still have fresh veggies for a reasonable price. I got bok choy from them, and it was just regular bok choy. It was the first time I'd ever tried it, and it is so good. You guys, if you have not had bok choy but you like celery, I highly recommend it. The leaves are similar to like Swiss chard or rainbow chard, but the stalk is like celery without the fiber. So if you don't like the stringiness of celery but you like celery, you're gonna love bok choy. I highly recommend you try it out. Honestly, we can't get it in our grocery stores, at least not a quality bok choy in my area. So really the best way to get it is to get it from someone who grows it or to grow it yourself. So I highly recommend you trying it out. Thanks for joining me today in my talking about my garden and my seeds. And I just want to encourage you guys, if you have any desire to grow your own food, just try it. Even if it's just a container or a pot and you put a tomato plant in it or some strawberries, or you decide to do a small raised bed. Do a little bit of research, reach out to another gardener, see if they'll help you. I know I've done consulting with some people in the past, and it's been a really enjoyable experience. It's really not as hard as what people make it out to be. I started out 5 years ago and literally killed everything but the garlic in my garden. Literally. For real. And now last year was one of my most successful years. I put up 25 jars of tomato sauce, and I still think I have 3 left, but we're gonna have to do way more than that if I wanna make it to all the way through my year with tomato sauce and such. So we have tons of pickles we put up last year. We had green beans, 8 gallons, I think we froze 8. We still have about 3 gallons left. So anyways, if you guys have any desire to garden, grow your own food, anything like that, you ready? Please like and subscribe to our channel. And thank you for joining us today.
And thank you for joining us today.
We love you.
We